evening, good afternoon, beautiful rising. Well, go on, you lot. Finally. And yeah, it's finally we're doing this breakdown of the Black Panther. Why is it a whole year since we did a movie breakdown? I've got to do better. I've got to do better. So yeah, this one took me a little bit longer to do because there was just so much information. I didn't feel that I could rush on here half-assed because I feel like the download that I have received from watching this movie is a very important one. And not only do I feel like it's important, but I also feel that it has a lot to do with things that are playing out right here, right now. And we're given a lot of symbolisms and messages as to what is really going on around our chat, what is really going on. So I'm going to start with the initial relationship between the two main characters, which Namora and Shuri, because I can't remember my friends' names, okay? So please don't expect me to remember these characters' names, yo. So hit the like button when you lot come in, please. And let me know if y'all are feeling any of this. Hey Zoe, happy Saturday. It's Mama Yamaya's day. I'm representing. I got on my blue. I got on my blues. You get me? But it's Kuala England. This blanket, me and this blanket have just been the best of friends since it got really frosty around here. Hey girl. I want to really break down this. Hey Shelley, I love vibing with you too. I really want to break down this movie. For being, obviously, I believe that especially Marvel are documentaries, and as part of the documentary, I believe that it's showing us certain goings-ons behind the scenes that we wouldn't necessarily know about through the media, be it social or regular media. And I think it's down to us lot to break these secret messages down and dissect them. And I'm glad I've left it until today, because there was a very important symbolism that happened today, and that was Morocco, which I didn't know that they had a pentagon on their flag. I didn't know that until today. Hey guys, forgive me if I don't greet you as you come in, because I might just get into a flow. I'm trying not to get distracted. No tarot today. Just to break down this 11 of you in, 11 likes. That's, you lot are everything. Thank you. So yeah, Morocco won their match today in the World Cup, and there's a pentagram everywhere. Now that they have won, this symbol is everywhere. I'm going to come back to what that has to do with what I saw in the movie, or what I pulled out of the movie. So many things. I'm just really Sophia, please, because first of all, can I just big up my Sophia, and Miss Fallon for encouraging me a couple of minutes ago, because I am shooketh, because I'm not sure what I'm saying. I'm not sure what I'm being told here, and it feels very controversial to me. But I'm just going to go on through, you know. I'm just going to go on through like I always do and trust my guides and Mother, Father, God to get me through whatever this download that they want me to share with you is exactly. Right, so let's start with the superficial part. Let's look at these two characters and what energies they represent. So obviously, we're going to look at, you know, just the film and how it did run and how they worked together. So, you know, remember I told you I'm not going to remember their names. So Namor. So as soon as I saw Namor, the first thing that came to mind was the Hindu religion. I thought originally, it was I'm gonna write these. I don't know why I'm trying Krishna. Trying to do me like that. It's freezing in England, rude girl. Nikki, girl, I can't wait to be where you at. It's freezing in England. So I don't know what went wrong, but we made a quick recovery because we're used to it now, innit? We know what I want. So originally when I saw Namor, I thought he was Krishna because the blue people under the with water. I originally thought Krishna. So that led me down my rabbit hole. But it wasn't a rabbit hole, it was like a vortex. Just sucked me all the way in, and it kind of shook me. I'm not going to lie to you. And I guess it's preparing us for this next year that's coming up, 2023, which is a 7-year. And it's also going to be the year of the rabbit. So imagine you've got a 7-year which represents spirituality, and then you've got the year of the rabbit. I don't know what type of hole we're going down, but it's going to be enormous. I have no doubt about that. It has to be enormous. That's why we've had to practice feeling rather than thinking with our logical minds. Okay, boom. That's all I want to say about that for now. Okay, boom. So Namor, to me, he represented obviously the divine masculine energy. He also represented toxic masculinity for me as well. Patriarchy, Father Saturn, warmonger Mars, and also Capricorn energy. That's what I got from him. And as I continued to do my research, no, let's not even start there. So that's what I felt like he represented. And then her, Shuri, Princess Shuri, I felt like she represented Daughter Earth, the wounded warrior Chiron. Also, she represented toxic masculinity as well. She had also a sense of entitlement, and I also felt she had a god complex. She represented Jupiter and Venus for me, energy, expansion with her inventions and stuff, and obviously feminine energy. So that was that. That's what I got from those two to begin with. And then, obviously, my Namor, we're not going to talk about them like they're rogue people. Namor greets Queen Mother and Shuri, demanding that they help him to discourage the colonizer from finding their precious metals, which are underground. And he gave them the conch shell. This was the first thing. This is why I knew it wasn't Krishna and it was Vishnu. So Namor is Vishnu in the Hindu religion, right? And he gave them a conch shell. Hey Tarara, I did my dots because we're about to join up some dots right now. I feel like changing my name to Mama Dots because of the dots that we're about to join up for this movie. So the conch shell, yeah. Well, my dots are everywhere today. The conch shell was given to the Queen Mother and the Princess and told to be used when they were ready to go to battle with the upper world, right? So the conch shell in Hindu religion represents communication, vibration. It's also a war cry, and it's also it's the breath of life, and it's the resurrection. This is what the shell represents. So this was the first symbolism that we were given in the movie, was the conch shell. So we're talking about some life, death, rebirth shit. We're also talking about vibration changing things, yeah? So that's the first thing that that came up in the movie. And then as the movie progressed and the kidnappings took place of the scientist and the princess, but then remember, you've got to remember that the princess wasn't kidnapped. She volunteered to go. Nobody wanted her, but she volunteered to go. And what that gave me was some God complex energy. That's what that really gave me. Like, she could save the world, her one, without any type of anything, without her powers, without her laboratory, and especially without the Black Panther. And so she went under there. She went under the water, which I've been talking about, right? And I've been talking about the fact that I don't think outer space, or space, which they call space, is above us. It's more in the water. It would make sense that it was below us and in the water, because we are above. It talked about the people as above. The people above were trying to get to their stuff, so they are below. So as above, so below. The above, it kind of stops with us, I believe. I'm not saying that there isn't galaxies and stuff up there. I'm not. I'm just saying that there is also some type of civilization and life below, as we saw in the movie, because not only did we see a civilization, but we also saw a sun. And this comes in very, very significant as I continue to break down and bring these dots together. So the sun was underwater, and I've been saying, if the sun moves around the earth, why does it always go, sunset is always underwater? So it is, I've always wondered, and where the sun goes, because since 2022, especially since 2020, since lockdown, and we had the opportunity to just be doing nothing and staring at the sky, there was many occasions where the sun and the moon were present at the same time here in England. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in England, there was times when the sun was shining very, very brightly in the afternoon, and the moon was there too. We're talking about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's the moon as well. So that completely threw out the whole theory that I was taught, that the sun goes to the other side of the world while the moon comes up here, and vice versa. That completely threw that theory out if the two of them were existing in my eye line at the same damn time. So it led me to think about the fact that the sun, there's more than one sun, first of all. It gave me that feeling that there's more than one sun. How can there be one sun if there are so many different time zones, so many different timelines? The sun goes down at so many different times in the world that we are, because it's not dark everywhere all in the world at the same time. It's not light all in the world at the same time. So I feel like even if you've got the theory of flat earth, the sun would have to be centrally up in the top of the firmament and then shine down on the one landmass, right? So I do have a theory that there's more than one sun, first of all, and then second of all, there's 4 you know of right now? Please, Zoe, name them. Please tell us. So, you know, it's up to us to ask these questions. Please hit the like button when you come in, my G's. It's really important for us to ask these questions, but let's get back into this movie. So in this movie, he had a son down there. So the sun, as we know, it stimulates the skin and grows things. So suns, Ra, Nemesis, blue, and red Kachina. We want to talk about the blue sun. I didn't bring my pen. We're going to talk about the blue sun. My G! Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Zoe, because it's all going to tie in. You hear me now? Oh, my God. I can't wait to give you lot the bow. And I hope I don't rattle on too long about anything for too long. So, the fact that they had a sun meant that they had photosynthesis. The fact that they had photosynthesis meant that they could grow things down there. The fact that they could grow things down there meant that they were consuming life as well as receiving life through their sun. And it's not secret that we've been told that Hollow Earth has its own sun as well. All right, boom. So that was that. So the princess is volunteered, you know. Because remember, she's already seen Homeboy, innit? It's not like she ain't seen man. Like, so she's already seen Homeboy, and he's not half bad. He's not half bad, apart from the wings around his ankles. He's kind of fine. I ain't gonna lie. He's kind of fine. So there's the princess fastening up herself to go down there under the water. And initially we were given the impression that this Namor character was a bit of a problem. You understand? But he was very gentle with the princess. Not only was he very gentle with the princess, but he was also nurturing, and he was also generous with the princess. Because remember, the princess received his bracelet, which later on allowed her to create this precious flower thing that Killmonger destroyed and become the Black Panther. Before we get to that though, yeah, let's look at their chemistry. Their chemistry is kind of cute. I was kind of there for it. I was kind of like, wow. I wasn't ready, but I was like, I wasn't there for it. So gave me divine masculine, divine feminine energy. It gave me that, you know. And then obviously, my girl comes and saves. I don't remember no one's fucking name, but you remember, you know who I'm talking about, innit? My girl, she goes under the water and she finds them, and she rescues them. But in rescuing them, she kills one of his people, which he called daughter. So you can imagine that he's pissed, innit? So he comes back up on land and he creates havoc. You know, he wants revenge. He goes to Wakanda and he creates a madness. Yeah, he does it all from under the water. The people are not ready. They've never seen anything like it. Long story short, his chaos is so much so that he kills the queen, and he pronounces my girl, the Princess Shuri, queen. Now you are queen. Now, let me tell you something. If he didn't do that, there'd be no Black Panther all now. We'd still be waiting for Black Panther. Because the original Black Panther was who? Daddy. Innit? And then Daddy was killed, and then the son obviously successed the throne, became Black Panther. And then obviously the mother, now that the son's dead, the mother doesn't automatically go back to, you know, that position. And or she's the queen, but she's kind of in age, isn't she? She's on with age, and she's not about to be the Black Panther. She ain't about to be the Black Panther. Not only is she not about to be the Black Panther, she couldn't even if she wanted to, because they don't have the herb. They don't have the herb in the field. Now, my sister reminded me of this card because it kept getting pulled this week for the full moon in Gemini personal readings, as well as our what do you call it, reading, as well as our collective reading. And she said that this card reminded her of when they sat in the realm of the ancestors and got their knowledge. Yeah, boom. So how did Princess Shuri get her herb to transform it into the Black Panther? She got it because the Namor gave her the bracelet of his mother from ancient times, because my boy Namor's hundreds of years old, so because the soil quality was the same as the original sacred herb, she was able to get molecules and this and that. I don't know the science, but she did, and she was able to create the herb once more, which transformed her into the Black Panther. Now, when she went in, I don't really want to talk about the ancestral realm that she went into too much, because I'm not sure what it has to do with anything other than Michael P. Jordan was a fine ancestor in white blood. He was a fine ancestor. That's all I want to say about that. Anyway, listen. So now that she's transformed into the Black Panther, and she's looking for revenge. You killed my mother, and you hurt my people. I'm coming to get you. She went for revenge. In the end, she ended up showing remorse, and they conceived an alliance. She said, as long as you don't trouble my people again, I will keep you protected. I will keep you protected. And at the end of the movie, we saw a mural that Namor had created of him as a blue person. We're going to talk about that. As a blue person, and her in the Black Panther costume above him. That's what we saw. And at the end, in their ending ceremonies, we saw this Andinkra symbol on the cloth of the Wakanda people. And this symbol is God's presence and protection. It says, this symbol represents a sacred place for rituals in front of a house or compound. It's crafted from a tree cut where 3 or more branches come together. A bowl is placed inside the water herbs or other symbolic material of blessing rituals and libation. But this is the most important part, where it is crafted from a tree cut where 3 or more branches come together. Let's get into the bones of this thing, this breakdown. Yeah? So let's get back to Namor. I'm very nervous because my notes are vast, and I don't know if I just went off on tangents when I was taking them down. Look, my notes are vast. Like, there's a lot, and it keeps going, right? So, let's start. So, Krishna and Vishnu are the same creature. They're the same deity. They're the same God. Krishna had 9 incarnations, Krishna being the 9th. Vishnu, I'm not sure which number it came in, but Krishna is one of them. Wait, I got distracted. I need to start again. I should have done this in a video, innit? But you lot already used to me, innit? So, boom. First of all, if we're going to talk about India, India used to be Eastern Ethiopia. Eastern Ethiopia was ran by Emperor Ganji. That's where the name Ganges come from, and Emperor Ganji was the most powerful Ethiopian emperor there was. The original people of India were called Dravidians. And let me just stop there. Let me just stop there so that you know, first of all, where I'm coming from. This is my first layer, right? So if Krishna was the incarnation of a god, the ninth incarnation of a god, I looked for the original god. What was the first god? The first god was called, let's read. So, he was the Dravidian. Okay, the Dravidians are the dark-skinned tribe. That's we're not finished with the Dravidians. So, you know that a lot of Hindu gods are depicted as either blue or dark-skinned, and the Dravidians were the very first tribe. They are the darkest-skinned, oldest tribe in India. Wait till I bring a next dot back for that. Okay, boom. So let's talk about this, and let's also remember that Namor was a god of the sea, of the earth, and of the air. He worked all three. And we're also going to see another god as we continue to dig deep into this thing who does the same. And then I have questions. All right, boom. So, Krishna had 9 incarnations, the first being the fishman, the merman. His name was Dagon, D-A-G-O-N, or Baal, B-A-A-L. He was also god of India. Dagon is known as the Prince of Depths. His realm is the Shadow Sea, the 89th layer of the abyss. He is a demon god. He is also known as the West Semitic god of crop and fertility. Dagon was the Hebrew common noun for crop, and this god was accredited to the invention of the plow. I gave myself a joke because I was like, wait a doggone minute. I just gave myself a joke because I do that even in my notes. So Dagon appears in the Bible in Joshua 19 verse 27 in the territory of the 12th tribe of Asher, the 8th son of I'm going to get to that. Here, look, watch it now. The 8th son of Jacob, known as Jacob. Also known as Jacob in the Anunnaki. Do you see? Because it's a theme, Bethany. This Baal thing is a theme, and I'm going to tell you why it's a theme. Girl! So listen. The tribe of Asher is what we know now as the Jewish people. People of Israel, descendants of Jacob, descendants of Jacob, also known as Jacob, of the Anunnaki. He was the geneticist who created humans from the own DNA of the Anunnaki and the life that they found here. Obviously, we were told that they were monkeys, but they were not monkeys. They were Aboriginal people that they made, because the Anunnaki also looked like the Aboriginal people, first of all. So Jacob wished his son fertile land, the most fertile land in African soil. Asher was Jacob's 8th son, who appears in Genesis book verse 30, Genesis 30 verse 13. Asher means happy. It was said that Moses himself blessed the tribes to say that they be the most blessed. Most blessed are the sons of Asher. Let him be favored by his brothers, and let him bathe his feet in oil, meaning that he be the most prosperous, be the most abundant in these times. Now, boom, I can put my book down because I'm going to bring this back home. So, bring this back to present times. So if we are talking about these present Jews, and obviously now black people are claiming to be Jews in the Americas, I'm going to tell you how this is a bit hard to swallow. Not to say that they're not, I'm not saying that they're not, I'm just saying that maybe things are a little bit confused, just so, because this is how it's playing out in real time. So I've already told you that Ye thinks he's Moses, innit? And I'm not saying that he isn't either. I'm not saying that man isn't, yeah. But he's playing out the Moses archetype. So obviously, if you know the story of Moses, you know that he came from poverty and then was put on the Nile so that to spare his life, so that he wouldn't be killed by Herod, and not Herod, Pharaoh, and then. And then I'm going to try not to read you lots of comments, and then just so that I don't get too distracted. And then put on the Nile, picked up by royalty, put in the palace, treated like royalty, had all of the perks of royalty, and then realized that he wasn't actually one of them, and that he now wanted to be the savior of his people and free his people from Pharaoh's grips. And that's pretty much how Moses is moving. And if you see now that if Moses blessed Asher's children being what we know as the Jewish right now, then this whole thing is playing out in real time right here, right now. And the reason why I titled this the Bantu aligning with the 12th tribe is because I believe that the Black Panthers represented the Bantu, and the people from under the water, Namor's people, represented the 12 tribes of Judah. Yep. So, and they had a common enemy. They had a common enemy, which was the colonizer, or the people that were there to take their wealth and their riches and their traditions and all of the things. Yeah. So with that being said, for that part, I'm going to continue with that part playing out in real time. What actually happened though? Is this relevant? So they said that Asher failed to protect his land and allowed the Canaanites to take over. So we've talked about Canaanites. Canaanites are the descendants of Cain, from the brothers Cain and Abel. So if the Canaanites came and took over this land, then we are way past the story of creation and Adam and Eve and all of the things. Yeah, we're way past that time there, and we're in literally a space where everybody has just been dished out land, and people are not. So these are the first owners of these particular lands, right? So it is said that he failed to drive out the Canaanites. Asher himself retreated to the caves rather than help his people fight in the time of Deborah and Barak. It was believed a lack of faith in God, fear of his enemy, who was his reluctance to disturb business, and was the reason for failure. When the time for action came, he failed to trust God. I feel like it's a warning. When the time for action came, Asher failed to trust God. The Israelites failed to trust God, and their leader went into hiding. Yeah? Here's the next thing. The opportunity for redemption came when Asher responded to Gideon's call to appeal to other tribes from the east. He also accepts Hezekiah's invitation to the tribes to join Passover celebration in Jerusalem, known then as Zion, city of David, City of David. King David is the same fellow who defeated Goliath and is said to be buried in Mount Zion Cemetery. His descent. So here we go again with Yay. Now, this King David's descendants are said to be an imprisoned man called Larry Hoover, who is currently serving 6 life sentences in a Florida prison. And a benefit concert or an awareness concert was held by Ye and Drake at sometime last year. I'm sure it was the end of last year in LA, to bring awareness about this guy, because it is said that the Galactic Council would like a representative of Kai, of Earth, to sit at the council so that they can make their decisions. Now, we'd be stupid to believe that there is no Galactic Council, because then why would the Americas have an army for space? Listen to me. So this Galactic Council has said that if they do not get a representative from Earth, a recognized representative, an authentic representative of Earth for their Galactic Council, they will proceed without us. And it is said that Larry Hoover is the descendant of King David, of the original people of those tribes, and without his freedom, they're just going to go on without him. Even Trump was trying to get this man out of prison while he was in presidency, because he understood that this is not a game. This is not a game. So, again, I'll continue reading until we get to more of the dots. I'm just going to read these notes. Asher received many great blessings in the end, and was told in God's I can't read my own writing. I'm sorry. Told in God's great mercy, He has given new birth into living hope, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, and into inheritance that can never perish, spoil, or fade. The resurrection of the Black Panther. The resurrection. This was the resurrection. This was the call. This was the representation of the resurrection, but of it says of the Christ. And many of us have been on this ascension process believing or feeling that the Christ-like consciousness is the way forward, and what we are doing here. I have to read it because I'll never get it right, because it's still new to me. The original Yahweh. So the Yahweh is our is the consciousness that we are trying to lock into, right? I'm right? It says here, this inheritance is kept in heaven for you, who through faith are shielded by God's power until the coming of the salvation that is ready to be revealed in the last time. This is Peter 1 verses 3 to 5. At the end of the movie, they show the Andinkra symbol for God's supremacy and of protection. There's that. So I just wanted to bring all of that first of all, and you know, I'm not feeling too bad about it, because it hasn't been an hour yet. Are you lot still with me? Are you with me, or have I lost you? Have I lost you lot yet, or you're still with me? So let's get into the colors. Blue, black. It is said that melanin absorbs the sun and turns into voltage called photovoltaic. I don't know, I can't read my writing. Photovoltaic. It's almost like photosynthesis. Right. Listen, guys. So which equals information. So what we get from the sun is more than just warmth on our skin. We're actually getting light energy, and we're turning it into photosynthesis. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you. Same as the Avatar, the blue, the blue people in the movie Avatar. They were an original people called Neolithic people of southern Sudan. The darker you are, the more light you can process. And then the underwater sun. Is there more than one sun? Here it says that there is more than one sun. The sun and the moon being seen at the same time. What is the sun? The disturbance of light causes illumination. I can't remember what that meant. I don't know why I read that. So basically, no, this is too much. This is just getting into too much. Think about what they said that, what was his name again? What was his name again? Namor. Think about how Namor breathed. He breathed through his skin. Remember, he could breathe underwater, he could breathe on earth, and he could breathe in the sky, high up, without any problems. But he was breathing through his skin, not through his nasal passage or using his lungs. And it was water that he needed when he was short of breath. My G's. Water being all around us. Air is water. It's all around us. So I just want to jump straight in. I feel like I'm missing out a lot of things, but I'm not. Thank you, Jesus. I'm not. So when I first came to this, when I first started to think about this alliance between India, or as I thought it was Indians and Africans, there was an alliance. I did a little bit of research, and I found that they have a really good relationship. I never knew, but because there's a myth that they don't like each other, but they have a pretty good relationship. It says that Africa and India relations, economic engagement began intensifying early 2000s. India is Africa's third largest trade partner. India investment in Africa and is India has a large investment in Africa and is its seventh largest investor. India is the seventh largest investor in Africa. These relations are mainly in East Africa, technically, these things are mainly in East Africa, So let's get back to India being known as Eastern Ethiopia. Now, as we know, Ethiopia is one of the very few African countries that has not been colonized. And the people believed, definitely the Jamaican Rastas believed that they are the original people, the people of God, the original Jews, right? So we've spoken about all of that, the children of Asher, yeah? And so that part of Africa would make sense that those are the descendants. Now, the reason why I am questioning whether the descendants are from America also is this. The Americas, let me just get to my page, and I got my information from Rod Hayes. So you already know you don't play. So this is where I got this particular piece of information from. So the Mississippi Basin was the American Congo, was the original Congo. We also know that the Americas, parts of the Americas, not even parts of the Americas was the original Egypt. Hence they have all the symbology even on their money and la 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 la. They have more pyramids than Egypt and all of the things. Now, so according to Rod, Mississippi Basin was the original American Congo, as was the Amazon Basin was the South American Congo. We're talking about Aztecs, and we're talking about the Mississippian tribes, the oldest tribes in the Americas. the reason why this was very interesting to me, because as I see the word Congo, I think of the Bantu people. Bantu people being the people that emigrated from the Congo down into, from Nigeria down into the Congo, then down into the southern regions of Africa, into Matabele land. Yeah, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, these places, right? It's Matabele land. So when I think of Congo, I'm thinking about Bantu people. And he says it's one of the oldest tribes in the world, as claim the Bantu people in the Africas claim to be some of the oldest tribes in the world, right? Now, here's the controversial bit, yeah? It is said that the Bantu people believed that Enki being the brother of Enlil, the Anunnaki brothers, the children of Anu, Enki was said to be the original creator or god of the Bantu people. Enki means Lord of the Earth. Kai was also the ancient name for the planet Earth. So En meaning Lord, Ki meaning Earth, Lord of the Earth. Enki was also god of the water. So Namor, I believe to be Enki. Although he's also Enlil, because god of the air, god of the earth, god of the wind is Enlil, his brother. So what I feel like we saw was an embodiment of these two energies coming together in one vessel and then aligning itself with its children, the Bantu. Yeah, I'm sticking with that. They're saying to me, carry on. All I can hear in my head is, keep going, keep going. I'm like, I'm shook, because do you understand what I'm trying to say to you here? Do any of you really understand what I'm trying to say to you here? Because if I'm telling you that Enki is the original god of this earth, I am basically telling you that what we know as Baal and the devil is the original god of the earth, of the people. Now, Zulu people proudly, Zulu basically translates as skywalkers, people of the sky. Yeah, and that's where they say that the Anunnaki came from from their planet Nibiru. And the reason why this just kept hitting so much was because on further research, I learned again from Rod Hayes that Enlil was the Yahweh. Enlil is Yahweh. And Yahweh is not a person. Yahweh is a title. And the original title belonged to Enki and was stolen by Enlil. Now, the reason why that is sus to me, because Enlil, god of the air. Now, they said that the devil was the god of the air, used the air, used, you know, the principalities of the air and music especially to fool the people. And then my next question came, because I'm only here questioning, innit? So my next question came and it said, well, if Enki was the original god of the original people, of the Aboriginal people of this land, both the the Bantu and the children of Asher, the 12 tribes included, if these are the original children of Enki, wouldn't you, as somebody who was trying to confuse the people, tell them that their leader was the devil? And then wouldn't you, knowing the knowledge and the information and the magic of that particular energy, the Enki energy, use it for your own benefit and tell others that it was corrupt and devilish? I'm just asking the question. And then wouldn't you then put the corrupt brother, the Yahweh, in front of the people that you're trying to bamboozle and fool, and say that that is your God? That's our God, so that's now your God. Would you not do that? Because I want to show you the picture, because I'm feeling organized. I want to show you the picture of I want to show you a picture of Enki. Wait. I didn't save it up front. There we go. There we go. So this is an image of Enki. This is the very first image, of Enki. And also, as we know, we've been talking about the god from underwater, the first Vishnu. Yeah? But I also want you to pay attention to his hat. Just this part of his hat, yeah, which is very similar to that which is worn of the Pope. And then when you look at let me get Dagon's hat. Dagon. Oh God, these are scary. Shit, man, this is a very scary creature. This is the image of Dagon. Look at the shape of the hat, and then what's that on the top? Is not a cross? So I'm asking you lot, could it be possible that we were given the wrong... Oh, because I haven't finished. Let me just stick with this. That we were given the wrong energy to worship or to look to. I'm just asking. And then Enlil's son is sus. Enlil's son is sus the fuck. Yeah, because Enlil's son's name is called... his name is called Nana Sin. Nana Sin. Nannasuen. But also known as Sin. Nana Sin. There's a few things sus about Maiji, because he took a contract which contracted him to using Babylonian money magic, Babylonian sex magic, and Babylonian, hold on, what's the last one? Babylonian money, blood magic. This is the son of Enel, Yahweh. And it says here, it also says in worship, his mother and father often visited his temples. His temples were in a place called Ur, commonly now known as Iraq. Temples, this temple also looks like the temples in Chichen Itza in Mexico. It also looks like the what's these other people? I can't remember these other people, but the Mayan temples also. So imagine that now, and these temples. Wait, where is it? Because I was gonna write it all down, and I said, why do you write it down when you can just reference right here? So it says here that many of these temples were frequented by royalty, and the temples. Are you lot still with me? The temples of Nana Sin were also wait, I'll read the notes because I'm about to blow you lot's mind now. You ready? You ready? Because it blew my mind. I don't know. That's why I said I've got to just come on and do this video now because I can't take any more information. It's too much. So Nana Sin, also known as the god of sin, had his temples. Did I write it down or did I not write it down? Okay, his worship, known as a cult, was also the institutions for priestesses who were daughters of kings. These places were called Gippar in the old Babylonian period. One of the daughters was Enanatuma, daughter of who? Ishme Dagon, Vishnu, Enki. Now, I'm not sure because obviously Enki and Enel are brothers, in it. So Nana is his nephew. So I'm not too surprised at any of that. But what struck me was the fact that if Dagan Enki was such a I guess an outcast or a devilish or a bad energy, what was his daughter doing studying at the Yahweh's son's temple? And as we know, the Lizzie was also a high priestess of something. She was also the daughter of a king, and they're not even calling this worship here of anything good. They're actually calling it a cult, and they're saying that Nana was here's a picture of him, was also the god of the moon, and they say that Nana was depicted with horns or a crescent moon on the top of his head. Now, let's talk about these sports. So there's a return of Saturn. So let's talk about these sports. In the Olympic Games here in Birmingham in 2022, there was a ceremony. Go and watch that, you guys. Go and watch that and tell me what that was all about. Because obviously we know, or some of you don't, Birmingham is known for its cows and the bull, particularly the bull. And they've got bulls all around the city. And this opening ceremony began with a black woman receiving a cylinder of light, and it ended with this black woman sitting on the head of this bull, putting this cylinder of light, being surrounded by all these other people who had these cylinders of light and were doing some weird type of swaying business to this bull. Yeah, so many have said that this time is coming to an end, which is clearly the time of Anil's reign coming to an end, and that Enki was returning, and I'm gonna definitely watch that, Shirley, definitely. So you've got this rumor that Enki is returning, because another symbol for Enki is the pentagram, but it's the upside down. I was about to turn mine upside down, but I don't want no problems. So I don't want no problems. So they're saying that if and even on the top of the devil card, have I got traditional tarot here? I'm not even sure if I have or no. I think all my tarot cards are rightly back inside my room. So even on the tarot card, you've got the upside down, you've got the Baphomet sitting down with the two people chained, and then you've got the upside down pentagon on the card representing the devil. But I'm suggesting or asking that the upside down symbol, does it possibly mean that they'd outcast him, put him out, and now that Enki is to return to the earth for his children, because it said, let's get back to this sun now. So this blue sun, this is another bit of information I got from Rod Hayes, and I trust him, man. I know that he studied his books. So this blue sun that's coming through is meant to be the very sun that is creating this crystalline body and this remembrance. And he said that that was put in place by Enki. And I'm thinking, if Enki was such a... Because Enki, it's been suggested that Enki was... All that Enki was a patriarchal tyrant. He came to this feminine planet and he was mad because he couldn't inherit it, because it belonged to the feminine energy. It's a feminine planet. So he was vexed that he couldn't get no inheritance from this planet, and he knew eventually time would run out for his occupation there, and it would be returned back to the feminine energy. And so if Enki is helping us to remember, I'm thinking maybe or maybe in this movie, maybe Namor could represent Enki, masculine energy, and Black Panther Shuri represents the divine feminine energy, because the original Black Panther was a woman. There was never really a man in the true story of the Xhosa people. This was a story where the colonizer came and told the Xhosa people that their religion was shit and that they should denounce it and revert to Christianity. And the queen was like, no, I don't want to do that. So they stripped her and were about to hang her. And before she was hung, she asked for mercy and asked if she could go into a space and speak to her ancestors. And she was there for a while. And when they went to retrieve her, she came out as the Black Panther. And they left. That's the story. So maybe Shuri represents the divine feminine, the true energy, the true inheritance of energy of this particular planet, because there are masculine planets, but this is a feminine planet. This is a feminine energy. This is a feminine planet and ruled by ruled by divine feminine energy. So maybe Enki decided to make an alliance with divine feminine energy and said, look, I'm going to be cast out by my brother anyway, Anil, and they're going to run this thing for a while, yeah, and they're going to confuse everything and confuse everybody. So I'm going to duck out gracefully. Like, I'm not really that graceful. I'm going to still play the fool and do what I'm doing, but obviously I'm not going to be seen as how I was seen before. So what I'm going to do is come into alliance with you and say that when the time is right, I'm going to help you and assist you to regain your true essence and power, and also your land. How about that? What if this alliance wasn't just about the Bantu and the Israelites and the 12 tribes, and it was more to do with the masculine and feminine energy, but again, the masculine energy assisting the feminine energy to reclaim what's rightfully hers, even if it was that particular masculine energy that caused the problems in the first place. Who knows? Who knows? But there is some type of alliance going on between the tribes, and they're coming together to defeat the common enemy. And they are showing us that this is happening on a spiritual level more than anything. So they're showing us these symbolisms. So let's look at the very last symbolism of today, where Morocco beat Portugal in the football, and their flag has what? The Pentagon. And it is said, when I researched to see what the Pentagon was for them, what it meant to them, it said it was the Seal of Solomon. And the Seal of Solomon took me into research of the Solomon's Cave, Solomon's Mines. obviously with all the gold. Now, you would definitely know, and if you know, you know about the story of the Anunnaki, whereby Nibiru is the furthest planet away from the sun and only comes around every 26,000 years close to the sun to stay warm. But to stay warm in any other time, they have to mine gold to seal up their atmosphere or their planet, and it keeps their thing warm. And the place that has the most gold is Earth. This is why the Anunnaki came here in the first place, to mine gold. And it is said that Solomon's mines are spread where? All over Matabeleland. All over Matabeleland, not even just in one place. They are stretched right across Matabeleland. So if you think about the origins of some of the people, were the Zulus there already, or were they found there? Were the Bantu people there already, or were they found there? And if they were found there, did they accept Enki and Enlil as their leaders, or were they forced into it? It's very difficult to know, but I'm starting to lean on the fact that the Enki and Enlil energy are in cahoots together because they've got a common enemy, because something's got out of control and moving mad. That's what I'm thinking. Or it could be very well be that it's the son of Enlil, Nana Sin, who needs to be put back in his place, and so both the brothers are coming together to pull their kinfolks' shit together. Either way, there's some type of alliance going on, and we can see that with certain people rising up and calling themselves certain things, certain energies falling, and Babylonian energies falling, and we're in the middle of probably one of the greatest shows on earth, on Kai. So I don't know, that's all I want to say about that. There's an alliance. That's all I wanted to say. I say all of that to say that, and to keep an eye on some of the shit that's playing out and some of the characters that are involved. That's all. And what's your part? What part do you play? That's all. I remember also I told you guys about your ancestry, and that you definitely don't need a .com to tell you where you're from. Do some research, and you might find that you are the child of Enki, possibly. Or even the child of Enlil. They say that the children of Enki look like Dravidians, and the children of Enlil look like the standard royal family in India that live in right now. That's what they say. So it's very difficult to distrust anything your spirit is telling you at this moment. Just go with what feels right. Go with what resonates with you, and trust yourself in these times, because there is going to be a great split, especially as we go into this 7 year next year, and we go into the year of the rabbit. And when I talk about a split, I'm not talking about races, I'm talking about inheritances. There's going to be a huge split, and some will definitely be inheriting their rightful inheritance, and some will be stripped of it. And furthermore, we've also got a Hindu prime minister here who is richer than any member of the royal family here in this country, and he moves like a Trump. He'll be moving like a Trump. Can't be told what to do. Can't be told what to do. I'm not saying he's good or bad. I am just saying that he is another piece of symbolism in this whole game. Because remember, that's what it is. Just remember that's what it is. And, don't Don't get too overwhelmed with the unfoldings of the next year or so. Okay, guys? I can't wait to see what Avatar has got for us, and I will no doubt be back with a breakdown of that because, like I said, I think the space, outer space is in the water, and I feel like they're going to keep telling us that until the penny drops. Okay. All right, my loves. I'm so glad that's out of my system. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Let's just make sure. Let's make sure. Yeah. Yeah, I did tell you that Michael P. Jordan was fine in the movie, innit? That's it. That's it. You guys, I'll see you on Monday. I'll be back for the 12/12 portal. You can also join me on Patreon where I am doing the 5 aspects of the soul readings every day, a different aspect, as well as our book club for our for the book that we're reading, Women Who Run with the Wolves. We're getting into it, man. I'm enjoying the process of book club, and also what's the other tier? The other tier is nutrition and vibration. I haven't given you lot no vibration yet, but I've just given you lot some junk food and thing. I will check my mail, my love. I definitely will do that. And thank you guys for putting up with my jibble jabber, and I hope it made sense. And let's just see how it plays out. All right, my loves.